So in this video I'll show you how the app works. So you can see that the pool box is sitting over there. That's sitting in lane 7 at the end of the pool. And then there's a camera sitting over there by the ladder filming in on the swimmers out in lane 7 and 6. So what you can see here, where we start, when the app starts up, it starts up in the 4-split screen. So we're only looking at one camera. So it's Athlee camera 69. Athlee camera 69, same thing for the 4 quadrants here. This quadrant up here is running live. This one is running on a 6-second delay. This one down here on a 12-second delay. And this one on an 18-second delay. And that means that the same thing is displayed 4 times in a row. So we can see this swimmer coming in here now live, making the turn. That same swimmer is now coming in over here on the delay, making the turn. And then history repeats itself down here on the 12-second delay and on the 18-second delay. So this way, the coach and the swimmers can see themselves 4 times without having to do a single recording. And that just frees up a lot of time from doing recordings, finding the recordings, and then replaying the recordings again. So each time the swimmer hits the wall, the swimmer can look into the pool box over there and look at herself 4 times in a row. Obviously the swimmer will need a little bit of a delay to be able to see herself, so the delays, they can be changed instantly on the screen here. So simply just by pressing that button, I can change it to, say, a 6-second delay. This one over here I could change to a 9-second delay, this one to a 12, and this one to an 18-second delay. All of the delays can be changed, so now the swimmers can come in and see herself on those 4 quadrants here. So that's immediate feedback right when the swimmer is still in the pool and can feel what's going on, and then they can visually connect that feeling to how it looks. Now, if I have more cameras, this is the camera picker. I can choose from the different cameras here. I've only connected one camera right now. I can also, from the camera picker, I can choose the built-in cameras of the iPad. So if I choose the back camera here, it'll use the iPad camera as the camera. So I can actually set that up. So if I set up the iPad at the side of the pool filming the start block, then I can get the overview perspective from the back camera of the iPad of the swimmer jumping in from the block, and then the underwater perspective from the underwater cameras. So that way I can connect how they jump into the pool with the dive in and the dolphins. But back to the underwater camera again here, I'll just set that up here. So what you can also do on this screen is that you can turn it into a 3-split mode or a 2-split mode just by dragging the fingers over like that, and if you drag the finger back, it'll return to the 4-split mode. Now you can also maximize any of these quadrants just by pressing that button right there. It'll maximize, and then when you press that button down here again, it'll come back to the 4-split screen. So one thing you can also do is you can turn it into slow motion just instantly without having to do a recording. So you can simply change the stream from running in real speed to slow motion, and then hit that thing again when you want the slow motion to stop. Now, and that can be done for any of the quadrants here. So you can see, as long as it's running in on a delay, there's a slow motion button in all of these quadrants. Let me show you how the replay button works. So the replay clip size is set to 6 seconds, and now the swimmer is coming in there. I'm not doing a recording, but I actually want to watch that again. Then I simply hit the replay, and then it'll bring up the last 6 seconds of the stream. So that was the swimmer that we were looking at before, now ending up in this annotation and analysis window where we can see the things multiple times. So the replay is for when you actually want to watch something again, but you were not doing a recording. Now, what we can do in the analysis window here are multiple things. You could slow it down to, let's say, 1/10 the speed. So now we are running at 1/10 the speed. You can scrub back and forth. You can annotate. So let's say that you wanted to point out that that swimmer should be more on a straight line. He is on a straight line, but say you wanted to. You can also calculate angles. So there's an angle calculator here. You can also calculate time to see how long did it take for this guy to get from here to there. Took 500 milliseconds. And you can also use some of the other annotations tools. So set in a rectangular or circle if you wanted to point out something about those hands. Now all these annotations can be recorded as well as your voice. So if you hit the voice symbol up here, you're able to record your voice. So now I'm making some instructions. So let's just delete these things again here. So you need to be more on a straight line here. If that was the instruction, I would go and do the instructions. So blah, blah, blah. And then I'll hit save. And then let's say that I tag it with Alexander and it is his turn. So now I hit save. And then that recording ends up in the photos library within the app. So we'll go to the video library here and we will reset filtering. And then we'll see that there's a recording now called Alexander and it's his turn. So that was the recording that we were doing before. And all these annotations that you do on the screen can be saved. And you can also put your voice on top of it. So activating the voice symbol up here, that means that I'm both recording my voice instructions to the swimmer as well as all the annotations that I'm doing. And that whole thing, the voice, the video, and the annotations, the drawings here, can be saved as a video and then shared with the swimmer. So the way that you save a video is that you hit the symbol up here, and you can see that there are different swimmers in here when you want to save, and there are also different tags. So what you can do here is you can save on the swimmer, so you can tag with the swimmer's name, and then let's say it was the turn. So, and then I'd hit save here. So now that recording is saved in the photos, in the library, in the video library inside of the app. And that means if I want to head over there and find that video, I can easily do so. So heading out to the menu here and into the video library, this is the recording that we did. It is now tagged with Ava and it's tagged with a turn, so that I can easily find that recording. So if I wanted to filter on Ava and on the turn, this is the video that will show up so that I can easily watch that video again as I'm doing here. So in the app, as you can tell, you can also create users and tags. So if you want to add a user, you simply just hit the plus up here and then you're able to add new users. And once a user is added in the app, then you can tag a recording with that swimmer name. And swimmers, they can also do that themselves. So if they come in to the pool box over there and say, okay, I actually need that, then they can save the recording on their own name and easily find it afterwards. You can also add and edit tags. So these are just some standard tags that the app comes with, but you can also create your own tags. Say you wanted to go to a meet and make a lot of recordings at that meet, then you can create the meet as a tag to be able to find those recordings at a later point. Now in some situations you might not want that the recording shows up in the analysis window, so what you can do is that you can head into settings and then you can choose to actually have the recording ending up directly in the video library in the app. So what I'll do here is I'll say save directly to video library, skip annotation screen. So I'll activate skip annotation screen and then I'll return to streaming. So what that'll do is, now if we look at the recording, is that if you start a recording and then end the recording again, then that video clip is saved to the photos library directly without you needing to see it in the annotation screen. So the reason for that is that sometimes you might just want to do a lot of recordings, but you don't want to look at them while you're doing it. You want to look at them afterwards, or you want your athletes to pick them up. So that way you can do recordings directly to the video library, and that recording ends up in the video library. So that was the recording that we did before. And from the video library in the app, you can do multiple things. So If you want to share them with the swimmers, you can go, okay, I actually want to select some of these videos and then export them to photos. Let's say I pick these 3 and then hit export to photos. So now 3 videos has been exported to the photos library, and that is the regular photos library within the iPad. So those 3 videos are now showing up here. And from there you can share it like you share any other files from the photos library. You could airdrop, and that's actually the easiest way to share it with the swimmer. Tell the swimmer to go pick up their own iPhone, give them the iPad, and then they can find their own recording and airdrop it directly to themselves after practice. But you can also put it into whatever app that you're using. It could be Google Drive or Dropbox, or even send it through an email if that's what you want to do. It's simply this. It's the same functionality of the built-in library, photos library in iOS that we are putting our videos into when you export them from the Athlee Coach app. What you can also do here is that you can see that you can actually also import videos. So I'll just say cancel here, and then I'll go import. So what it'll do is that it'll look into the video library that you have and say, okay, I actually want to import some of the videos. So let's say that I wanted to import an instructional video. I could add this, and then that video would be added to the photos library or the video library within the app. And now one thing you can do here is that you can say, okay, I actually want to use this for instructions. So I want to pull in an instructional video. So what you can do here is you can go into the camera picker here and choose video library. And then the recording that you just imported, you can choose that recording and have that recording playing up here on a loop. So it'll just play over and over and over again. You could also, let's say that you wanted to put it into slow motion. That means that the swimmers now, if they're working with the pool box here, you could set it up as an instructional video here so that the swimmers, they can come in and see how it's supposed to be, and then they can see their own swim on the delayed streams here. So they could come in and make a comparison of that swimmer, and then they're coming in there and watching themselves on the delay, and then they can imitate the swimmer doing the turnover here. So what you could do simply here is record the best swimmer you have on the team for the specific thing that you want to display to the others, and then tell the others to look at that swim when they're coming into to the pool box that is sitting over there, and that way you can do imitation learning.